Hello again, Guyana, and welcome to another edition of West Side Story. I'm Malika Ramsey. Thank you so very much for joining us this week. We begin our program here as usually on the West Side, as usual, I should say, on the West Side, and we begin our program in the community of DeKinderen on the West Coast. And it is a pleasure to be here. And why I'm saying it is a pleasure to be walking on what is said to me. Of course, some of the residents have already told me that this is a brand new road. And it is indeed a blessing to them because it has happened after a very long time, an extensive period of having to use a road that was in a deplorable state to get in and out of the community. Mind you, this is not the only road in the community, but it is one of the main access roads in the community. So indeed, having the road done is really and truly a blessing to the people of this community, especially the little ones. And I must also tell you that we're doing West Side Story this week at a time when it's just a few days before school reopens for the September term. So I know it is indeed going to be such a wonderful thing for the young ones. You know, when they're going back to school in September, they're always excited about having everything new, the bags, the shoes, the lunch kits, and so on. So having a new road to walk on is also a blessing for them in the new school term. Of course, that's enough from me for now. I'd like to remind you this is West Side Story, and we will be back with you in a minute or two. Stay tuned. I'm back with you on West Side Story. Of course, as you know, I am no contractor, but I'm out in the field, so I figure I might as well go down here and test. And I don't know how much this can be that we can do here with me testing and feeling, but I can tell you it really is sturdy. And in a minute or two, we'll hear from some of the residents of the community. I know I have Miss Joyce Van Kooten. She will come and she will talk to us to the road. So you'll be having more than me just stooping here feeling on the road. Again, it's always good to have residents talking to you because they're the ones who experience it, they're the ones who live it. And again, this is really a joy. Miss Van Kooten, come right across here and talk to me this morning. Welcome to West Side Story. Thanks so very much for being here. And the reason West Side Story is my favorite program out of all is because I get to talk to residents on the spot. I get to hear from them, their experience, their feeling, and so on. And it is on that note, it's my pleasure to welcome to West Side Story Mrs. Joyce Van Kooten. She is here to tell you about the experience of a new road and what it will really do for the community. I know you've heard me rambling, but it's really good to hear from someone who lives it. Welcome to West Side Story, ma'am.
Thank you, Malika, and good morning. I am glad this morning to tell you about what the road has been doing for us. In the past, this road has been in a deplorable condition for almost 8 years.
Wow.
And it has really inconvenienced the citizens of DeKinderen.
Mm-hmm.
But today we are glad because our children has good roads to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And also when we buy material to get it down to the back.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be very hard, especially in the rainy weather.
Uh-huh.
But today now we can have trucks going in with hardware, which is very convenient for the residents.
And viewers, I can tell you as we speak, we'll be doing some shifting and moving because I did say this is one of the main access roads. So you have to forgive us. And you know our cameraman is showing you that vehicles are going in and out. And you just heard from Mrs. Van Kooten that it was so difficult. And I know one of the things that, and I did say to the viewers earlier that we're having this program basically a few days before school reopens for the September term. How will that help our little ones going in and out?
It would help very much because it would be less headache for the parents. That is number one, if the rain should fall. And number two, even if they call a taxi, the taxi would be able to get in and out very quickly in order to transport the children to their various schools. I am glad about that.
Good. And before I let you go, you did talk earlier about the fact that people take materials down. This is a community that is still in development mode and so on?
Yes, it is. And people have been doing rehabilitation work to their houses.
Okay.
So it is very important that we have good roads. in order that the people would be happy. Although there are other things to talk about, but we're very glad this morning to thank the government for this road.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Van Putten. All right, you heard it from one resident. Of course, when we're on West Side Story, you don't only get it from one resident. In a bit, we'll talk to you. We'll get the opinions of another resident living here. Now, it's my pleasure to have another resident, of course, Miss Esther Dazzle. She's a resident in this community. Miss Dazzle, how long have you been living here?
Since 60s. I come in 97, but I live in 2011 in Frontier.
Wow, that's a very long time. What the new road means for you?
Good.
And you live close, so how long the works took as far as you can observe?
How long did it take today? Not long, must see, but it's a month or so. Average about a month or so. Can't really remember.
Okay, so you have easy access in and out now?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Esther, thank you very much and best wishes.
Okay.
Still in DeKinderen talking to some residents about the road. Morning.
Morning.
What's your name?
Chris.
All right, Chris. Tell me, how you come? You comfortable now with the new road?
Yeah, we kind of comfortable here because we see a lot more development towards in DeKinderen because sometimes the ministers and them things forget about DeKinderen. You understand? As small by growing up, we wait a long time before we get road. I was actually 15 years before we get road.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to full water with cat. Yeah, but now times is different.
Okay. All right, viewers, most of you know by now, wherever you see food, you see me. So I have a sweet potato chip in my hand. I'm going to take a bite of it. Then I'm going to talk to the person who's selling it. And again, remember, we're still in DeKinderen on West Side Story. Good morning.
Greetings, good morning to you. Morning, everyone.
What's your name?
My name is Marvin Pinder.
And you have certainly a good trade here. Let's talk about how long you've been doing this, if it's DeKinderen alone or nearby communities and so on, and how you feel as a resident in DeKinderen.
Well, I've been doing this about nearly 5 years, and this is the DeKinderen, and the people in DeKinderen they're very friendly, and they like to play sports. They got a lot of footballers in DeKinderen, and the road they're getting better right now, and every day it is be different. Sometimes you might come out and you see the big people them early in the mornings walking on the road exercising. Yeah, it's all right now. It's supposed to be more better, but surely going to be better in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apart from selling the chips and juice, you make them yourself or you just sell?
I make and sell it together. I just get assistance from my family.
Okay, all
My
right.
mother, my father.
This is really a good trade and it tasted lovely. So keep it up and congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's my livelihood. I will do that.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm standing here at the head of the road that leads directly to the Stewartville primary and secondary schools. Now, the beautiful thing about West Side Story is that often we come out with a plan, and most times we never stick to that plan because it's always a pleasure chatting with people in the community, with residents of these communities, and that is exactly what happened today on West Side Story. We came out with a plan to visit several communities. Of course, the magnitude and the warm welcome that we got from those residents in the DeKinderen community sort of cut short our program today, but we chose to wrap up right here from this street leading to the Stewartville primary and secondary schools because, of course, as you know, West Side Story this week is being recorded just a few days before school reopens, and that's just to give you an idea. And of course, our cameraman took some shots of this road a little earlier, and that's just to give you an idea of the readiness state of this road for the school children. I can tell you I'm very impressed with the fact that there are so many speed bumps as you go all the way to the end. We took a trip right to the end of this road, and I can tell you it's ready for school children, and it's very, very safe. But unfortunately, this is where we have to bring the curtains down on today's program. It really and truly was a pleasure. As I always tell you, when we come out in the communities and we get to hear the experience of these residents and to understand that they're indeed feeling that good life and feeling the betterment, it makes us here on West Side Story very, very happy. And I'd like to take this time to remind you that this may sound like a cliche, but it's a fact. Rome wasn't built in a day, and sometimes people say, okay, you go out into the communities and you're always bringing us a bridge or just a road, but these are the little developmental works that it takes for us to get to the big works. And I think we say one dotty does build I think, yes, that's how we say it here in Guyana in terms of our Creole sayings and so on. So remember, keep in mind that Rome wasn't built in a day, and these little projects are very, very significant, and we know that the people are happy, and we can feel the happiness of the people as they continue to receive that good life for all Guyanese that the APNU AFC administration would have promised you all. Unfortunately, I have to leave you this week. Thanks for watching as always. I am Malika Ramsey, and of course, this has been West Side Story. Join us again next time. Goodbye.